Eala enters WTA rankings top 40 ahead of Qatar Open stint. Manila, Philippines. Eala broke into the top 40 of the Women's Tennis Association (WTA) rankings. Eala officially climbed to world number 40 on Monday, just hours before kicking off her campaign at the Qatar Open in Doha. The Filipino rising star will take on Czech team qualifier Teresa Valentova in a round of 64 match scheduled at 8 p.m. at Center Court. The 18-year-old Valentova barged into the main draw after a pair of tough wins over Australia's Irina Rodionova on Friday and Germany's Eala Seidel on Saturday. Eala is coming off a quarter-final stint in Abu Dhabi, where she was swept by world number 10 Ekaterina Alexandrova of Russia. A victory by Eala in her first WTA 1000 tournament this year will pit her against another Czech in Karolina Muchova in the round of 32. Muchova breezed through her opening assignment, Jacqueline Christian of Romania, 6-3, 6-3. Eala will have her hands full in her first WTA 1000 tournament this year with world number 2 Iga Swiatek and Australian Open champion Elena Rybakina bannering a stacked field. Climbing higher, Eala enters the WTA top 40 ahead of Qatar Open stint. In the world of tennis, where the margins between success and obscurity can be as thin as a few ranking points, few stories resonate with as much inspiration and national pride as that of Eala. On February 9, 2026, just as the Qatar TotalEnergies Open was about to unfold in Doha, one of the premier WTA 1000 events, Eala achieved a milestone few Filipinos before her ever had. She cracked the top 40 of the Women's Tennis Association (WTA) rankings, reaching a career-high number 40 in singles. This achievement marks more than just a leap up the leaderboard. It tells a story of relentless ambition, remarkable milestones, and the growing footprint of Asian tennis on the global stage. From rising star to top 40 contender. At just 20 years old, Eala has already rewritten the record books for Filipino tennis. She turned pro as a teenager and quickly built momentum on the ITF circuit, showcasing the talent that many scouts had spotted since her junior days. Over time, her presence transitioned from promising junior to genuine contender on the WTA Tour, a journey marked by steady progression and historic breakthroughs. For Eala, the climb up the rankings was about more than collecting points. It was about carving out another path for Filipino and Southeast Asian athletes in a sport traditionally dominated by players from Europe, North America, and Australia. Each ranking surge wasn't just personal, it was symbolic. In 2025, Eala made her grand breakthrough by becoming the first Filipino to crack the WTA top 100 and then the first to enter the top 50. That same year, she notched headlines with a stunning run to the Miami Open semifinals as a wild card, a tournament where she defeated several Grand Slam champions in consecutive matches, a sign that her potential was not merely hypothetical but tangible. By the end of 2025, she finished the season ranked inside the top 50, a feat unprecedented for any Filipino player. And the momentum carried into 2026. Abu Dhabi and the leap to a new career high. The immediate catalyst for Eala's rise into the top 40 was her performance at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, a WTA 500 event where she delivered one of her most consistent performances of the season. Eala reached the singles quarterfinals, notching valuable points that propelled her up the rankings. In doubles, she reached the semifinals, adding even more promise to her already impressive resume. The ranking update that followed saw her jump to number 40, a new career best with 1,244 points, surpassing every previous Filipino achievement in women's tennis history. Reaching the top 40 wasn't merely numerical. It signaled that Eala was no longer an emerging talent seeking relevance. She was a full-fledged competitor among the sport's elite, capable of challenging higher-ranked opponents and competing deep into the most prestigious tournaments. Qatar Open, a stage set for greater heights. With this new ranking came a fresh challenge, the Qatar TotalEnergies Open in Doha. As one of the season's first WTA 1000 events, the tournament assembles the world's best, from established stars like Iga Swiatek and Elena Rybakina to powerful new contenders pushing for major glory. Eala's entry into Qatar wasn't just another tournament appearance, it was a statement. She opened her Doha campaign against Tereza Valentova of Czechia, a player she had encountered before. While no tennis fan expects an easy path for someone ranked outside the top 30 at such an event, Eala's presence itself was a testament to her growth, a journey that now placed her in the same draw as the game's most formidable talents. Doha, with its stacked field and ranking points on the line, offered her another platform to push deeper into elite competition. The cultural impact beyond the court. Eala's rise has galvanized not just fans of tennis but a whole nation. Figures from across the sports world have lauded her achievements. For instance, Philippine pole vault icon EJ Obaina publicly expressed his pride in Eala's rise, viewing her impact beyond tennis as a source of national representation and inspiration. Her ascent resonates especially with young athletes in the Philippines and across Asia, where access to tennis infrastructure is often more limited than in traditional powerhouses. Eala's success shows that with commitment, strong support systems, and world-class training, barriers can be challenged and redefined. Resilience through challenges. Eala's journey also reflects the resilience required of young athletes navigating the pressures of professional sports. Earlier in 2026, she faced defeat at the Australian Open, exiting in the opening round, yet she did so to packed and supportive crowds who celebrated her presence on tennis's biggest stages. Rather than letting setbacks define her, Eala has used them as fuel to refine her game, build her mental toughness, and strengthen her resolve to climb even higher. Her willingness to compete against top-seeded players and learn from each match underscores a maturity beyond her years. Looking ahead, the road beyond Doha. As Eala stood poised in Doha, the tennis world watched with anticipation. Top 40 status brings not just prestige but practical advantages, higher seedings, better draw placements, and greater opportunities to compete deep into high-point tournaments. Following Qatar, the WTA calendar offered a busy stretch, from the Dubai Tennis Championships to the Indian Wells Open and beyond, including the Miami Open where she had seen one of her breakout moments. Each tournament would present both challenge and opportunity, and each match would offer chances to refine her craft and chase further breakthroughs. Behind the stats and rankings, Eala's rise is also a narrative about representation. For the Philippines, a country with deep sports passion but limited historical presence at the highest professional tennis levels, Eala's top 40 presence signals a new era. She has become not only a national icon but a regional one, someone who carries both aspiration and proof that global competitiveness is attainable. Conclusion: a new chapter begins. Eala's climb into the WTA top 40 ahead of her Qatar Open stint stands as a pivotal chapter in her unfolding career. It marks the transition from potential to proven capability, from rising star to established contender. Her story resonates far beyond the tennis court,